Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Frothy on a Friday night, mate, and an absolute exciting show this evening, buddy.
Well, look, we're exceptional, mate, because the great Lenny Hayes has just come off
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame, and we're certainly very blessed. And I know all of Tassie right at the moment. I jokingly said to Lenny that everyone's going to be listening to it, but they've got a pretty big following down here in Tasmania, Lenny.
They certainly do.
Yeah.
Hold on your horses, Glenny. This is the Friday Frothy, guys. Go and grab yourself a froth. We'll be back with Lenny Hayes in just a minute.
Guys, I'm Friday Frothy. You're listening to the Friday Frothy. What a fantastic show.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Friday Frothy here on a Friday night. We're down in Hobart. It's freezing cold, and not so freezing on the other end. We've got Lenny Hayes.
We've got Lenny Hayes.
He is hot. Lenny, how are you?
Yeah, really well, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Mate, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming on, mate. We absolutely appreciate it.
We'll get it out of the way first, Lenny. It's congratulations. Obviously from everyone that's watched football and that with your deserved accolade of being a Hall of Famer now, and a St Kilda legend, obviously, mate. So congratulations.
Yeah.
No, thanks very much. Thank you very much.
Mate, it's an amazing achievement and a huge honour. How did you go with it? I know you don't like to blow things up, how'd you feel with the whole event?
Oh, it was. It's been really nice. It's I got the phone call a couple of months ago, and it was just a shock. Sort of came out of the blue. Totally wasn't expecting it. I was pretty quick to ring my wife and then let sort of mum and dad know, and they were just over the moon. And it's been a good week of just reflecting and thanking a lot of the people that helped me along the way. So it's been good fun.
That's incredible, mate. Now, look, for people out there who don't know Lenny Hayes, just to let you guys know that Lenny inducted to the Hall of Fame just last week, AFL Hall of Fame. You've won a Norm Smith medal on a grand final. You've won numerous Trevor Barker awards, which is your best and fairest at St Kilda. You were the captain at St Kilda. You were All-Australian 4 years, a rising star. Mate, what haven't you done in football? Incredible.
Plenty. But had a good run.
Well, if you want to start off, Lenny, obviously you've been obviously on different shows and mentioned a little bit about Pennant Hills. I've been out through all those areas, mate. I know where you were probably born and everything else. So, did you want to just quickly, I suppose, up to you, but if you want to mention about how you obviously got started for our viewers, and
where did Lenny Hayes come from?
Yeah, exactly, mate. So, where did football come from after being in a rugby, coming from a rugby league state as it was back then?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of people who played AFL back in those days had someone that was either from another football state. So my dad was from Victoria, so that was probably the initial influence. He was a big North Melbourne supporter. So
was
it's unfortunate.
It is, Lenny. It is unfortunate.
And then joined up to Pennant Hills Football Club when I was about 8 years of age. For me going to school in Sydney, there was probably only two other guys at the whole school who played AFL. So when I found the Pennant Hills Football Club, it just felt right. We'd go off to training once a week and then play on the weekends, and just like-minded people who loved AFL. So I think my love of the game really started in those early years. Probably like most people, junior clubs and football clubs in general are great places, and Pennant Hills Footy Club was no different.
So, as I said, when you started like that, so when you was at school, I don't know, Pennant Hills was a big school. Like, did you have plenty of numbers to make up a football side? I noted in some of your other interviews you said that they, I think, promoted you to play in different grades very, very quickly before you actually went on to, obviously go to Canberra a little bit later on as you got a little bit older with the Rams. But how did that work?
Yeah.
Did you have enough numbers to make up a proper side there, or?
Nah, back in the juniors, like quite often there'd be 2 or 3 teams in the comp that you'd have to play a half on the other side, because some of the teams just didn't have enough numbers. So there were some pretty sort of interesting days, but you just made it work, and I think Pennant Hills sort of had every second age level. So quite often you'd play, the game in your right age group, and then the under 15s might be short. So you'd sort of, as a skinny sort of 12 or 13-year-old, you'd be playing against the 15-year-olds and sitting in the forward pocket, and that was just all part of it. And if you weren't doing that, you were man in the scoreboard to get yourself a pie and a Coke after the game. And so it was just, pretty typical junior footy club, to be honest.
Did the guys have a crack at you? Obviously, the guys that rugby, did they sort of have a go at you at school? All you boys playing?
Oh,
football?
Yeah. Like,
so you had to be pretty thick-skinned.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was definitely no kick to kick at my school, and we played the sport that grown men wore tight shorts. But I always had a pretty good comeback, because I said, at least we're not out there sniffing bums in scrums. So.
There you go, Rob. He's probably listening out there at the moment.
Actually, Lenny, we've got quite a few rugby league guys on as well. So
that's good.
Well done with that, because you're definitely in an AFL state down here, mate.
Lenny,
That's right.
Who did you barrack for growing up, mate?
Yeah.
I went for the Swans. Yeah, Dad, as I said, was keen North Melbourne, but because the Swans sort of moved up into Sydney in the early 80s, coincided with sort of me being, a young fella, and Dad used to take us along, and a few other people in the street along most weeks. So, and I think Dad's dream came true when Barassi took over as Swans coach. He was like, as being a big North Melbourne man, he was wrapped. We were there every week when he was coach.
Yeah. Tell us about your move, I suppose, from juniors and that going to the Rams. Tell us a little bit about that. Obviously, I noted one of your coaches, Stevie Wright. I probably missed him when I was down at Clarence, but he actually coached down here for a year. Very, very well thought of, and very astute, and did very well too, coaching the Clarence Football Club down here. So tell us
absolutely.
a little bit about that, mate.
I think the other coach I had there was David Noble, who's a pretty proud Tasmanian as well. So
he was he came from a very good football stock down here, and his old man used to run a pub, mate, up in North Hobart. And,
I think everyone runs a pub in Hobart.
It's not right. They did. Anyone that played ex-footballers too, but no, I did play at North Hobart with his older brother. There you go, before I went over there. So Nobles were a pretty big football name down here.
Lenny,
absolutely.
You were picked up number 11 in the 1998 draft. Any other teams looking at you at that time?
The only phone call I got was from Port Adelaide. So they had a couple of picks around when I got selected by the Saints. Back in those days, you go off to the draft camp, and you'd sort of speak to a few recruiters, but Port were the only ones that rang me a couple of days before the draft, said they were thinking about taking me. They didn't, so it mustn't have been a great conversation. Whatever I said, I might have turned off, but I was pretty rapt to get picked by the Saints, to be honest. A kid growing up in non-traditional football state, to go down to Melbourne and play for a club like St Kilda with some of the legends, Stewie Lowe, Robert Harvey, all these sort of guys. It was amazing.
So your transition, you've just gone to Melbourne. I've sort of mentioned this with other guys we've had on the show. Did you get obviously put with a family or something there, or did you, was there like a lot of players back in that day, you were put with a family, or was you with another player, or
Sharon.
How did that work when you first went to St Kilda?
Yeah, I did stay with a host family for about 6 months, but because I'd spent 2 years in Canberra playing for the Rams, so I sort of moved out of home when I'd just turned 17. So I'd sort of had 2 years out of home and living with host families in Canberra. So when I got to Melbourne, I think I lasted, I was there about 6 months, and then I moved out with a couple of other young guys, which was an experience. But it was good. I mean, the family looked after me really well, and still keep in contact with them to this day.
Mate, I just want to ask a question. Like I just said before about how many medals and awards you've won, Lenny. all the best and fairest to the Hall of Fame, the Norm Smith. Which one do you treasure the most, mate? Hard question, I know.
Yeah, it is. I think probably one of the St Kilda best and fairest was pretty special. I think 2003 was the sort of first one that I won, and I guess that one sort of sticks in your mind a little bit, because I think around that time, it was probably a year or two early, I was sort of questioning whether I was good enough to play at the level. So
really.
Yeah, it was. I think my first couple of years, we had Tim Watson as coach. 2 years later, Blighty came on board, and then I dislocated my shoulder and missed half a season. So I was I played a little bit of senior footy, but I hadn't really cemented my spot in the midfield. I was sort of playing half forward and things like that. So it probably wasn't until Grant Thomas came along and said, "Mate, I'm just going to play you week in, week out as an inside mid." That sort of gave me a fair bit of belief, and then sort of within 12, 18 months, that's sort of when I started to kick along. So that first one was pretty special.
Mate, did you see yourself as obviously you moved, as you said, started half forward, probably trying to find your way in AFL ranks and that sort of thing. And the one thing is with St Kilda, the question I was going to ask you, you mentioned that you did, not just yourself, but throughout those years, you did have a lot of change of coaches. I mean, you mentioned, look, I look at them now, Tomo, Ross Lyon, Malcolm Blight, Tim Watson, Kenny Sheldon, he was there, wasn't he? I think. Was he there?
He was sort of in management at that point, but
and then Scott Waters was another
Scott
guy.
Waters and Alan Richardson.
Richardson, of course, we
did.
A lot of coaches.
Lenny, I've got a question here on that from one of our viewers, Eddie Hitting. He said, "As a Saint is tragic. Who was your best coach? Who did you prefer?
Who did you gel with?"
Yeah, I find it hard to split Tomo and Ross, just because they're both there for about 5 or 6 years each. So they're the longest serving coaches that I played under. Tomo, I felt he really brought the group together in a time where there's a little bit of uncertainty around. We'd gone from Tim to Blighty, and all of a sudden Tomo was the coach, and that was all within sort of 3 or 4 years. So, and then Tomo, I guess, left under pretty different sort of circumstances. We just lost a final to Melbourne, so it wasn't like we'd finished in the bottom 4. We'd actually played all right, but obviously, there was a bit going on behind closed doors, and Tomo got the sack. Yeah. And then, Ross was unbelievable. Came in, just one of the best tactical minds I'd seen, but also a very, very strong, man manager. So I clicked with both of those guys, and owe a lot to them.
Yeah. Okay. Mate, talking about finals, let's get into the grand final, 2010. Absolutely heartbreaking for you guys. First question is, are you over it, and how long did it take? Because that would have been gut-wrenching. And the second,
never get over grand final, mate.
Yeah, I know. And the second question is, mate, what are your thoughts on grand finals now? Should it be won on the day, or should you come back?
Well, it's gone, hasn't it? The draw's gone.
It has, yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, it has. So I'll answer that second one first. No, I think it's a great call to scrap the draw. I think when you have a big grand final, there should be a winner and loser. So I think that's the right move to play extra time. And the first part of it, I don't think it is one of those things that you ever get over. It's not something that I dwell on, a lot. But I must say, grand final day is a little bit uncomfortable. Like, probably only the last 10 minutes is sort of when all the feelings and that missed opportunity. And I've been to a couple of grand finals since, and just watching, I think it was 2014 when Hawthorn won, and they knew they were going to win. They were well up in the game, and I was just watching a few of those guys celebrate with about 10 minutes to go on the field, and I just wish that we could have had that as our, with our group.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time between drinks, mate, and I'll get it out of the way. Obviously, as I said, he's North Melbourne, I'm Hawthorn, but look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you barrack for. I know the day that yous were playing, I was in Queensland on holiday, but with a couple of blokes, and I can remember watching it at a leagues club up there, but everyone was St Kilda that day. I thought.
Yeah, I think.
And I was too.
Is that because we were playing Collingwood? Or
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Absolutely, mate. It had a lot to do with it. But the thing is, as I said to you, probably off air, I mean, I think St Kilda's had and still has such a big following in our state,
it does here.
and
It's huge,
it's a massive. You've got
A lot
great
of good St
history.
Kilda players that come from Tassie.
You've got. I mean, I if I go back through my notes, and I probably don't have to look at these notes, mate, but I mean, you go through, just to name some for the older people that probably watch our show.
Like you,
probably
mate.
not. But Barry Lawrence, of course, obviously the great Darryl Baldock, Ian Stewart, 3-4 time, Brownlow medalist, a guy that was down at Clarence. I've met this fellow, John Bingley. He was a great at the St Kilda Football Club, and obviously Nick Brewald, obviously, is a very, very good friend of yours. But they're just some, mate.
We're talking.
But obviously a very big following down here.
Yeah, and obviously we played a few games, a few years back under Tomo. 2 or 3 games a year there for a couple of years, which was great. Unfortunately for us, we just couldn't win.
It was disappointing that you was pulled out of there, as I said. Really, because I think there was a controversial day there, wasn't there? I can't remember if it was playing.
We had the siren gate. No, we had the siren gate against Freo. Yeah,
it was Freo. That's right. I was there. I was there that day. It was. I remember going up and watching the game.
You were in a stand with Merv Hughes as well, you said.
No, I wasn't with Merv Hughes. No, it was. That was. What was that like? That was quite unusual.
It was bizarre. Yeah, it was bizarre. Like I quite often get asked that because it looked like I sort of shaped up to their coach there, because he came on the ground, because he knew that time had run out. We couldn't hear the siren. Some Freo players must have, because they've sort of jumped up. Either that or they knew that there was sort of 10 seconds to go. There's a stoppage in our forward 50. It's quite a funny story because obviously time had run out, but the umpires couldn't hear it, so they balled it up. The handball got dished out to Stephen Baker. He's had a shot. I mean, he doesn't get many shots at goal, but he's had a shot from about 35 metres out straight in front, missed it. So he could have won us the game. But then he got knocked over as he kicked it, so he got another chance, and he missed that one as well. So we haven't let him leave that one down. He had a chance to win the game twice, and he couldn't deliver.
Well, he was a good back pocket player, mate. He was a little bit like you.
Yeah, very
he was
good.
nice and hard and tough, wasn't he?
Jeez.
He didn't mind mixing it too much.
Lenny, sorry, you go. You're up.
No, I was just going to say, pretty glad he's on my team. That's for sure.
I would have thought so. I'd hate to be playing against a bloke like him. He'd give me nightmares.
I was just going to say, I jumped on and had a look at a couple of YouTube clips today of your games and some of the stuff that I've missed. And mate, you were so hard at the ball and so agile. The way you could move around, absolutely amazing, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you model your game, Lenny? I mean, obviously, we see all the shows, the 360. You've spoken about all this on different shows, but the way that you played, was that just a natural way that you always played, or did they say to you, look, I think you've pretty well said to people that you wasn't blessed with a lot of pace. Either was Greg Williams or all those great midfielders like yourself. Just very quick-minded. Obviously you've got the two-step, if you want to call it that, or sidestep, and obviously it does get you out of trouble. But influences there around, as you said, playing in the midfield. Did you model yourself? Was there a player that you really looked at and thought, well, look, I see myself being that type of player?
Or was
it doesn't matter what.
It's just your natural game.
Or was that just you?
No, I think there's a little bit of both. Like I was, as I said before, I was really lucky when I got to the club. I had one of the best midfielders of all time still there, in Robert Harvey.
Of course.
So he was an unbelievable role model. I remember Stewie Lowe said, I'd been at the club a couple of weeks, and he said, mate, if you want to learn how to play AFL footy, just watch this bloke train.
Yeah.
Because he was just an animal. I'd never seen anything like it. So he was probably the main one that I just sort of tried to follow around. I'm sure he would have been annoyed with me most of the time because I was just everywhere he was. I was sort of there, just trying to learn from him and asking him questions. And so probably him. And I think the other thing, because I wasn't quick, and the sidestep, but I think I did play a lot of touch footy at school. Yes. And a little bit of rugby. So there's no doubt that sort of probably helped with the tackling and the sidestep.
And the evading, yeah.
Well, I was just going to say too, there's a gentleman that we've had on our show twice, and a great from Victoria. I think he's written 85 odd books. Ken Peace. Done a lot of sports, and we were privileged to meet him quite a few times, and he's was good enough to give his time and come on our show a couple of times, and has become a really good friend. But he mentioned Robert Harvey, which obviously, as you said, is a mentor to yourself probably, and what a great one to be, but obviously a very good friend of Ken Peace's. And the thing that he mentioned about a guy like him, and it may have rubbed off, that he said things like he just wouldn't stop training. He said he can remember one day, where he almost blew up a running machine. He was just so. I don't know what the word is. I mean, he just.
He had some ability just to keep pushing himself. There was one game, I reckon it was early in my career, and it was sort of almost in the last. It was in the last quarter. There would have been about 10 minutes to go, and I could hear the ball got kicked out of a stoppage, and I could just hear this breathing. I'm like, oh, that bloke's in trouble. It felt like they got a really bad case of asthma, and all of a sudden this bloke's just come flying past me. It was halves. I reckon he'd probably had 35 touches up to that point, but he just had a way to just keep pushing himself. When everyone else was falling by the wayside, he was still going. He was an absolute freak.
Lenny, I've just got a couple of viewer questions here. We have ask you if that's right. I know you're pressed for time, mate.
No, it's all good.
We'll get through this pretty quickly. The first one is, who was your favourite player of all time? Who was your toughest opponent that you've played on? Which is probably Glenn Archer from North Melbourne, I'd like to say. But anyway, we'll see that. So your toughest opponent, your favourite player, and also I've got this one as well from Juanita in Western Australia. How did your parents support you in your dreams to play AFL? So I know I've just thrown three at you, mate.
That's all right. So favourite player probably growing up was Paul Kelly at the Swans. Just loved the way he went about it. Toughest opponent, I think early days was Michael Voss. He was unbelievable. Simon Black, and two guys from Sydney, Brett Kirk and Jude Bolton. I always found we had some good battles against those boys. How did mum and dad support me? I think the big one for me was, when I was 17 and I was pretty keen to move down to Canberra to follow my dreams, and now I've got two kids of my own. Would have been a pretty big decision for my parents just to say, go for it. It's still sort of fairly young, but they just always, they'd be driving me around. They'd just be supporting me, and picking up the pieces when I missed out on sides or I was injured or all the rest. It's just being there, I guess. So great support.
Yeah, I was just going to say, mate, we appreciate and we thank Tara, is your wife, obviously. I Googled that, mate.
Yep.
And he's a shocker.
And I'm shocked. And Hunter, is it?
Hunter, and you've got since had another one. Yeah, yes.
Jacob, is it? And they, how old are they, mate?
6 and 4.
6 and 4, and they
keep me on the toes. That's for sure.
They keep you on your toes. They got a sidestep yet, or
will they go on to play, Lenny?
Oh, look, who knows?
Who knows? They're only
who knows? That's
kids,
it. As long as they enjoy whatever they're doing, we'll be happy.
Look, mate, can we? Oh, you got sorry.
Natalie Arnold.
Oh, Natalie, yeah.
How did you set yourself up for your career post AFL? Do you need to consider this much before your retirement? How do you go about integrating into other work?
Oh.
That's a good question, Nat.
So that's obviously after the GWS Giants, isn't it? I mean, you're still with them, which I'm going to talk quickly about. So I'm
very lucky to still be involved. But I think from when I started now, there's a lot of programs that young guys, they got the opportunity to study. They can tap into sponsors at the footy club. So they're definitely encouraged to pursue outside interests to set themselves up for life after footy. I think when I first started it was probably that transition between being part-time workers and footballers to full-time. So it probably wasn't as stressed back when I first started, but now it is, which I think is great for those young players coming through.
Okay. Yeah, just quickly, another quick one. What are you doing now, Lenny?
Yeah, I'm actually an assistant coach at the Giants. Yeah, so I just coach the midfield there. So I'm pretty lucky. I'm got a pretty good crew to work with at the Giants. But yeah, lucky too because I only grew up sort of 15 minutes from where I'm living now. So it's good to be sort of back home and amongst family and still involved in footy.
Well, that was the question, mate. I'm obviously keen with me footy, but so the guys that you're working with now, your midfield, we're talking the likes of Steve Caniglio, Joshy Kelly, Big Sauce, because Mummy's gone, hasn't he, Mumford? He's gone.
Yeah, he's still there, actually.
He's still there.
He'd hate that you said that. Yeah.
No, don't tell him I said that.
No, he's more of a pest than a player these days.
Is he? Well, no,
he's unbelievable. He's very good to have around the footy club. Every footy club needs one of those blokes who's just up and about all the time and taking the mickey out of everyone, so he's good value.
Was that Milne at St Kilda?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Serial pest.
So, yeah, but as I said, you've got Matt DeBoer, another guy, mate, that I watched a game there last year, late, especially when you probably struggled in the final there you had a few injuries. You put a guy in there and then a guy called Zach Williams off the half-back flank, and I reckon he's so impressive. Is he a guy that could play midfield, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's got a good eye there. He is. He's very explosive. He's got sort of. I love watching the Aboriginal boys play because they just do special things, and he's a beauty. Yep, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no. So, and how do you see the GWS Giants going up there? Like, obviously full of talent across every line. I think that's been, obviously spoken about. The other thing is
they're only a step away, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, they're only a step away. I really do believe they can win a grand final. And look, Richmond, obviously, everyone's talking about Richmond, but I think that GWS probably are the side to.
Them in North Melbourne.
So
we hope so. We hope so. Well, we're playing North Melbourne on Sunday week. So, have you got any inside word for me? What should I be looking out for?
I haven't, mate. To be honest with you, I got nothing.
I can give you some information when you play Hawthorn, mate, and it'll be 0. I got one more. Yeah, you're right. Go on, sorry. It's not easy.
I was going to say, these Hawthorn fans, they won all these flags, but they still give nothing away. They're very
exactly right.
We'll not give nothing, mate. We had Brownie on last the other week, and it was funny to hear his. It's great to hear different takes from different players, and we was lucky enough in one of our early interviews to have if we go back in time too, Alan Johnson,
he was great,
ex-Western Australian great, that played, down in Melbourne and played for Melbourne Football Club. But all you guys, obviously, well coached, and I suppose a question that always is asked: what do you do outside footy? I mean, when you do get a break, obviously you've got a young family, so I've got no doubt, Lenny, that takes up a lot of your time. But is there another interest, mate? Have you got any other passions? Fishing, golf, or do you see yourself as is there other sports that
That's a nice
you like
question,
to do?
Lenny. Well done.
Yeah. I don't mind having a hit of golf. If you saw my swing, you'd probably question why I pursue with playing golf.
Yeah.
But no, we've actually been down to Barnbugle a couple of times.
Yes,
I was pretty lucky that at St Kilda there's a big group of keen golfers. Brendan Goddard he's pretty much off scratch. Sam Fisher's off 2 or 3. Nick Dalsano, so Nick Rewald loves his golf. So we used to play a fair bit of golf. I don't mind having a hit.
We used to go up to Barnbugle with about 20 odd guys, and we did meet. That was a question. I met up at the was actually at the bar, mate. We are called the Friday Frothies, but I think Brendan Goddard and a few of those guys were there, and
having a froth.
We played out.
Right.
Yeah, we played our 20. That was 20 holes. It's only meant to be 18, and we was on the 21st.
I've got one more for you, mate. And look, you're
Sure.
probably going to notice that this comes from someone that you know, and it's Mike Cheslin, and he's. I can't thank Mike enough for getting you on the show tonight, mate. Absolute fantastic. But he mentioned to me about a kick, and I had a look at it today in that grand final, in the drawn grand final, and you're 55 metres out, and you just in a time where you needed a goal, and somehow you just leant back and you kicked it through the middle. And he said to me, 55 metres is probably just a little bit outside your range. And it was something.
Good to see the father-in-law's got my back. You know.
He said, "Is it something from the gods or something? How did you do that? How did you?" Yeah.
Oh, I don't actually know. I didn't usually get many set shots on goal. You know, most of my work was sort of done at the bottom of the pack. But yeah, it was just one of those things that, you know, it's like a nice golf shot. When you hit it sweet, it usually carries that little bit further.
Yeah.
And I just knew that as soon as I hit it, I knew that I'd be probably right on my distance, but I knew that as soon as it hit the boot that it was going to probably go through. I think it only just got there. But it's a funny one because I think it was probably 51 metres, but after sort of, you know, as the years went by, I think it grew out to about 60, 65, you know, it gets a bit further every year, especially when I've had a few beers and I'm telling the story. But
No, look, I had a guy that actually works with myself, and we're in the glazing business and shop fitting, and I've never met a more passionate. This guy is a very passionate St Kilda supporter, and which I'll give him a plug, OMG Glass and maintenance. He named his dog Saint, mate, if you can believe that. His bar is fully decorated. It's got it's got you stuck everywhere, up on walls and rewalts and bulldogs.
It's got Lenny all over the place.
that'll
up on the bar, mate. So
the house a little bit.
Well, I go in there, mate. And I tried to spend a bit of time in the bar, and
It's a nice looking bar, actually.
it was a very good bar, mate. But what we'd like to see is, and I'm a football follower. I'd love to St Kilda to win that grand final that they justly deserve. Obviously, the Western Bulldogs and that, they've done it. They keep talking about Melbourne. They keep talking about Melbourne now. And I just think, well, how good would it be for them? It'd be fantastic for your side up there at the moment. GWS Giants, as you said, you mentioned again Brisbane when they come through, and when they had the Browns and Vosses and all these guys, they got their taste of winning a premiership, and I gather that's when you get to the level that you guys have played, that's the pinnacle, playing in a grand final. You know, look,
I think that was
Oh,
the big thing for us as well was, you know, being a St Kilda player, you would have loved nothing more for our supporters, like you said, because they've been through a lot. And you were you'd bump into them in the street, and they'd tell you, you know, I've been barracking for the club for 45 years, and you know, they're very passionate, very loyal. You know, and when they do eventually win one, which hopefully isn't too far away. No. I think they're going to have to shut down St Kilda, Moorabbin. They're going to have to shut the whole place down, because I think the party's going to be pretty big.
Did you get to meet the likes of the older players when you were there? Was a lot of older players used to come back to the club? You know, I mean, in past years, like I mean, I'm going way back. I mean, your Riches and all those sort of guys. Did they?
They did, because a lot of the functions that we had, they'd always come, and they used to say to us, they're like, boys, we're sick of getting up on stage. Can you guys hurry up and win one? You know, we're getting too old for this stuff. But I had a good relationship with Alan Morrow. Don't know if you remember Alan Morrow.
I do. Yep.
Yeah, played in 66 flag. We used to go to a gym, same gym down at Sandringham. Like, he was still doing weights up until sort of 10 years ago. You know, he would have been his late 60s, early 70s, and just a really lovely bloke. He used to laugh at me, though, because I was the same height as him. He was their ruckman.
Oh,
He's
really?
like, you know,
That's the thing, Lenny. So you're about, what, 6'1"? Was it 6'1"?
Yeah.
So what was it like playing? I mean, these midfielders now that you've got, and this is what I can't, you know, like, I look at it now and I think of like the guys down here that used to ruck here, like Rewalt's father. Some of them, they're 6'4", but now today they're midfielders and wingmen.
Midfield, yeah. Look at a guy like Patrick Cripps, and he's
Cripps,
6'4", 95 kilos. That's a centre half forward. You know, he's playing midfield, so. It must be the chicken. I don't know.
So how did you handle that? Like when you're 6'1", and I'd imagine your Buckleys, the guys that you would have played against, they're around about your height, 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
So it's obviously the ruckman. The way you position yourself. What's the word? I suppose. Obviously, the ruckman, the way you set up. How you moved it, your stoppages and everything else. So, but when you got to move someone at 6'4", that 5 or that, I mean, the game it's totally changed.
Yeah, and like a lot of our guys who are a bit smaller, and this is probably getting into a bit of coaching stuff, but you'd never tell them to get in a wrestle with those blokes because they'll just get thrown around. So you try and stand off and hit them at the right time as they're getting the ball, as opposed to wrestling with them at a stoppage because you know that they'll get beaten. But there are, Josh Kennedy, you mentioned Fife, Cripps. There's a number of those really big bodied guys, and they're very hard to stop.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, Lenny Hayes, we could sit here and talk to you all night, mate, and absolutely loving having a chat, mate. But I know you're in a bit of a hurry. We're going to let you go, mate.
Get these boys to bed here.
Look, we appreciate it. We thoroughly appreciate it. Look, mate, don't know if we could ever afford you, but one day when you're finished, mate, or rolled up with the GWS Giants or whatever, you ever come down to Tassie, mate, we'll pay for you to come down and we'll do you on a sportsman's night.
Oh, well, there you go.
So there you go. We'll have you down there, mate. And
you're absolute star. The cold will come down.
They're cold. Trust me,
they're cold. They're cold here, mate.
One thing we have got, mate, we have got the best beer in Australia, so you'll be right down here.
Lenny, thank you so much. Mike Cheslin, thank you so much. Made an absolute pleasure to talk to you tonight. It's been fantastic.
I know we're thrilled to have you on, and I know all the people that listen to us and whatnot, and especially down in Tassie, everyone congratulates you.
Yes.
And the whole Australian football people that have been lucky enough to watch you play.
Yeah.
And I know you don't like that, but we're telling you, you're a
you're
star,
going to
mate. So well done, Lenny.
Yeah, well done,
good
mate.
on you, mate.
Thank
All the best to you and your family, and thanks for coming on.
Beautiful work,
Cheers,
Lenny.
mate.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
mate.
a lot.
Talk soon.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Well, there you go, guys. Lenny Hayes live on the Friday Frothy. What an absolute champion, mate.
It just gives me chills, mate, to think that you can talk to a guy that he's given his heart and soul to a football club like that.
Yeah.
Look, everyone would like to be as good as a Lenny Hayes, and unfortunately sometimes that certainly doesn't happen. But for every young kid that's out there, I mean, if they could aspire and to be and hopefully listening to our show, that aspires young kids today to get out and just have a go, have a kick, and if you're not the quickest,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So,
a couple of people there. Juanita, nice guy. Leah, fantastic. Thanks, Lenny. Brent Forsyth, great interview. James O'Dwyer, new to the show. James, thanks for joining us, mate. What a beast of a man, and what a great guy to talk to, guys.
We appreciate it, mate.
Yeah.
So absolutely chuffed that. Well done with you too, mate. Getting it set up, and Alison.
Yeah.
And we're absolutely thrilled.
That was absolutely brilliant to talk to, and as we said, Lenny, congratulations, and congratulations everyone who's watching the show, and make sure you've subscribed if you like what we're doing.
Yeah.
We had some fantastic guests on the last couple of weeks, and we've got
none better than that game.
We've got some more big ones coming up, guys. We've got another AFL player coming up in Chris McDermott, who is the inaugural captain of
We've got tough and
Adelaide
tough,
Crows.
haven't we? We've just had two of the toughest guys. And Campbell Brown, they're all...
Yeah. So there's a lot of things coming up, and Glennie, we couldn't do this without our sponsor on the show.
We certainly couldn't do it without our sponsor. That's Corey's
Garden and
Landscaping, a great man who's doing great things down here, doing great things for our show. And
let's play a clip. Yeah, so stick with us, guys. A lot more guests coming up, Glenn. You don't need them anymore.
Don't need them now, mate.
No,
Sorry.
mate.
Thanks
A
for that.
lot more good guests coming up. And guys, if you are new to the show, we don't just do AFL. We
don't.
We tried to interview Dale Shearer, State of Origin legend, Australian player last week. Couldn't turn up.
Right.
We're interviewing him again this week. So
we hope
so.
Dale can come on.
So that'll be coming up.
It's we obviously you do your best, mate, but we can only look. As I say, we're so privileged to these guys give their time, and look, this is what it's about, especially with this COVID thing at the moment.
Yes, indeed.
We want to know not just about how good they were. We want to know about their life.
Yeah,
and that's what we do on our show.
And also, Glennie, for new people
they're
out
human
there,
beings.
they are. We don't just want to talk to the top of the cream of the crop. We also talk to people who were the best in their game who don't get the
recognition.
And
we've done that, haven't we? Throughout our
and we will
probably a
continue.
year and a half, nearly 2 years now.
All right, mate. Let's get into this. We also do a show on top of the interviews, and let's get into the show and start on off tonight with Out With It. Good evening, guys. We haven't had a chance to say hello to everyone. We've seen you come up on the phone.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I hope everyone's well.
Thanks, Corey. Well done, Leah, Janine Holman. God, we keep going.
Die Hard Saints, James O'Dwyer.
Mick Cleaver,
Good on you.
Aussie.
Good on you, James.
Everyone out there.
All right,
So
this is Out With It.
Out with it!
Now, guys who are new to the show, Out With It is anything that gets on our goat, anything that drives us nuts in sport. And I've got a bit of a tricky one tonight because, it's probably not on everyone's radar. And we talked to George Ferlingus last week, a professional bowler.
How good was he?
He was fantastic, wasn't he?
And he's doing great things too for 10-pin bowling. And this great man here next to me, he mentioned how you helped him, mate.
Great
Australian
man.
champion.
Great man.
He was Australian champion.
Yes.
So he gave you a bear. So well done, Jeff.
Gave me a rap, and that was very nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Mate, there's been an announcement today. I'm just following on from that bowling. There's been an announcement today that the professional women's bowling circuit has been cancelled for 2020. All right, so it's not going to go ahead.
No bananas.
Because of Corona. And I just wanted to say, by the way, that would be a full-time job. Sorry, I'm reading what's happening here. And you're not wrong there, James. So the announcement today is that they're not going to play the women's professional bowling, but the men's is going to go ahead. Now, Glennie,
why would that be?
Well, I believe that it may be happening with the women's cricket as well. Now, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, but the world has put a crap load of money into women's sports to try and promote it and get things going and make it equal pays and all this sort of stuff. And all of a sudden, they're saying, we can't afford it, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. But the men's are still going ahead. Is that a bad look or not?
Look, it possibly is because, I'm a little bit... look, it's fantastic, I think, and we can only talk about what we know, but look, everyone's struggling at the moment, and a lot of we've had a lot of local, sports. It could be netball, could be any sport, football, cricket, whatever it is, and they've certainly some have gone for the year. They have gone. But I think that sometimes you've just got to guts it out, even whether they actually play for a final, like flag or whatever the sport is. I know there's some that won't happen, but I think the participation, it still should happen.
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what you viewers think, and we're not. We just think that perhaps if they're not getting, and we're talking about professional now, or we're talking about amateur. Yeah,
no,
so professional. Okay, if they're professional athletes and they're getting paid, then I think they should participate, mate.
Well, there you go. Juanita's just said last on, first off. There you go. That's from Juanita, WA.
Well, thanks, Juanita, for that, because I think it's good to get. We've got our opinion, but it's all about the.
That's right.
We're only two opinions, but what about everyone else? So yeah, that's good.
I think James has given you a bit of stick here, mate. And
good
on you, James. I'm all for it, mate.
I need a pay rise.
Pay rise for looking after you and cutting your hair and being the makeup artist. He reckons that'd be a tough job, and I agree. Oh, I can't talk. Have a look at me. Anyway, that's all I got for Out With It tonight. You got anything? Out With It. That's Out With It.
Is that Out With It?
Out With It.
Hang on, I'm a bit behind the times.
But
we need to have it. We need to have it on there, don't we? Here we go.
We do.
Out with it!
There you go.
Now, just quickly, we're going to go to Odd Sports in just a very second. And
Yeah.
once again, if you're new, this is the producer, we call her.
The
She does up
producer.
Odd Sports every week, and
Producer.
we don't get to see it, do we, Glenn? We don't know what she does.
No, we don't know. We just sit back and
Then we watch it.
It's very ASIO.
It is.
It is ASIO.
We fly like that sometimes on the Friday Frothy.
Oh, frothy.
I
Now,
like to live a very secret existence.
just before we do, just wanted to let everyone know the Formula 3, which is probably
Oh.
the same as the Formula 1,
Yes.
they've released their schedule. All sports is coming back, Glenn. They're all starting to creep back in.
The great man from down the road,
Alex Peroni.
he'll go back over there.
As long as he can get a flight over, mate. New dates
Yeah.
are out now, with the
Was it
first
in
two
July?
races
Late
being...
July?
Yeah, it is.
July?
Early July.
Early July. Okay.
2 races
Too far
at
away.
Spielberg, which is the Red Bull Ring in
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah.
Have you got the dates there, Ellie? You chugged it up?
What are we
well,
doing?
okay.
Sorry, can you just say that again?
The Formula 3 dates.
Formula 3 dates.
Yeah. So
Yep, they're coming. Here we go.
Thank
Back
you.
to the
Here we
grind.
go.
So 3rd to 5th of July, the 10th and 12th of July, and then they go to Budapest.
Oh, Budapest.
Budapest.
Sorry about that, I was distracted.
That's all right. Well done, Ali. She does a good job.
Yeah,
It
no.
doesn't
Yeah,
make it
I'm
right,
kinda
runner,
doing
but
it.
the truth hurts. Yeah, that's true. Razor. Hello, Razor, Ray and
Oh,
Rob.
Rob and Ray, how you going up there on the Gold Coast? Probably only about 2 degrees up there.
It's probably,
Less than
it's
zero.
probably 30 degrees or something. But anyway, let's go into Odd Sports, guys. Have a look at this. This is the producer, Alison. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, after a long week searching the bowels of the internet, I have found you all another odd sport. No, this isn't it, although I personally call this one non-resilient men throwing tantrums. This next odd sport takes these 2 items and merges them together to create a super sport that I actually do find fun to watch. Hilarious even. Not as funny as Scott Sterling's shootout, but a hoot it is. It is called binocular football. Binocular football has taken the world by storm, and it's rumoured that it was going to be a featured sport at Tokyo until the Pando came along. A huge disappointment for the country, as this is a traditional and much respected Japanese tradition. To play, you need some mates, vision impairing apparatus which make the ball look either further away or closer than it really is, a soccer ball and nets. Probably someone to film it so you can watch it back later as you won't see anything. There are even party specialists ready to rob you of your money to get you started in your own binocular footy Olympic dreams. I'll have to search on eBay for some binoculars. So that is Odd Sports for this week, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, there you go, guys. Odd Sports this evening. Binocular. What is it? Binocular football.
Binocular football.
Beautiful word.
Or
Now,
soccer.
Hey,
You know that game that we don't like?
don't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Be soccer.
Should have said that out loud.
Well, you can probably notice it's a good night here on the Frothy when someone has to go, and
Yeah.
go he has. And
Glenn's prostate's going in his
So I'm on my own here for a minute. Now, guys, we've got the trivia coming up. We did call it the Corona Trivia. We've decided to go with it again, and it's new and improved tonight. We're calling it the Corey's Garden and Landscaping Trivia Competition, and we've brought a wheel in.
We did the public quiz intro.
No, we're not doing it yet.
Oh.
And so
I'm disappointed.
Stick around. Trivia's coming up. For those who don't know, it's 10 questions of sport. Basically, the first person that comes up on our phone in front of us with the correct answer wins 1 point per correct answer. After 10 rounds, there's $100 or maybe $50, maybe $1,000. Who knows? We'll make it up as we go along. But tonight we've got a wheel, and you can win a prize by spinning the wheel, which Glenn will do. Because he's my wheel
Here he
guy.
comes.
Thank you. Welcome back,
Oh,
Glenn.
not the wheel.
The wheel. All right, he's back. All right, mate. I found out this afternoon, and this is news. This is news. James loves a pub quiz. Well, hang in there, mate, because it's coming up, and these guys are pretty serious with their quiz. So,
Oh, we've a great prize.
Gillon McLaughlin has announced this afternoon they don't even have the rights yet for any TV rights for the new season for the AFL. So. Basically, we've got 6 days now until Richmond take on Collingwood at the MCG next Thursday night, right?
That's this Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just come quick,
Well,
hasn't
coming, yeah. But they haven't. Here's some points. The AFL does not have a broadcast deal in place ahead of the season resumption on June 11. They're cutting this. They're
They're cutting it really fine.
They certainly are. Foxtel and Channel 7 have not agreed on how much they're willing to pay the AFL for reduced 17 rounds. This is trouble.
There's a lot of controversy.
This is trouble.
There's controversy.
McLaughlin said the AFL had a long-term partnership with its broadcast partners and there'd be no problems. Well, that's nice to say, but until it's locked and loaded, mate, there's
a lot of problems too, even with the AFL players with the payments at the moment too, Jeff. Isn't it? So some of the payments at the moment, as I said, there's the what do you call it? The AFL players. I don't think they've quite agreed to payment at the moment, so that's another thing. So as you said,
it's on a knife edge, Glenn.
It's on a knife edge, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's going to. I've actually heard. I don't know. Someone's telling me today that perhaps in the getting into the second round that there may be crowds. Did you hear that?
That's it.
I don't know. There could be crowds.
They're probably Korean sex dolls.
They could be Korean sex dolls. I'm not sure.
Mannequins, yes. They probably are.
Funny enough,
it's not.
I was at a job the other day.
Come on.
They were there.
Come on.
Yeah.
Mate, a bit of NRL news for Rob. He loves his...
he loves his NRL.
League.
And Mick. Actually, why we think about rugby league, so before you get it, Rob, what do you reckon about the Broncos?
Well, I'm about to say.
They got smashed.
59-0.
Was that the worst in their history, do you think?
Oh, they got done by Parramatta.
Rob.
58-0 last year.
Was that the worst? Oh, was it?
Yeah.
58-0?
Yeah, last year, Parramatta.
What's happened with the Broncos?
Mate, people are jumping up and down. And ex-players, we're talking Lazarus, we're talking Tallis, we're talking Payne, Cleaver. They're all jumping up and down about the Broncos. They've got no guts. They're going nowhere. So
but they've been such a strength. And at Suncorp Stadium, wasn't it?
It was, and they were so upset with the way that they played. They decided they didn't even turn up, and they're going to get fined for this. None of the players would turn up for the after press meeting.
Afterwards.
So why did you play so bad?
Well, that's weak, because you've got to take the good with the bad.
Exactly right, mate. You can't win all those flags.
You can't win all those flags, mate. And it's such a strong history, again, as we spoke about, and culture, as I want to talk about. Culture, that's a big word, isn't it? But, I mean, it is such a big thing, and at the moment, it's a little bit like it's only early. I know the Melbourne Storm copped a hammering too. They copped a hammering, and they were another side that was, what's the word, meant to, put it this way, they were meant to be the top dogs by a lot of pundits, and that's experts, certainly not us, but NRL experts that they were going to be right up there. So, but I still think your side, mate. I just think the Eels.
Can we put up
the Canberra Raiders are good at the moment?
Can we put up the current?
Of course, the Roosters,
the current ladder for the NRL, please, Al. So let's see.
Let's
see who's on top at the moment. I think it is Parramatta.
Pretty damn good. You're just a little bit smirky, mate. Just a little bit cocky. I think that.
Rob's got is that a blue and yellow there? Does that say Eels?
Yeah. Who was the great man?
Are you sure it says Eels? I'm just making sure.
Who was the great man that I mentioned? I said to you earlier, it was ex-rugby league. I can't think, it's escaped me. And I mentioned to you, and you said, "Oh yes." And I said, if they play the games out there towards the Eels Stadium, and he said, "Well, they've won one. That was the first game. They've continued on." He said, they could play probably the Roosters and win the final.
There you go.
I'm trying to think who it was. I'll think about it.
I don't know. Come back to it. We've already got James, Storm 4, Rabbit 6, 20-minute mark of the first half. Thank you so much, James.
Is that James?
James O'Dwyer, new viewer.
What
Love
was it?
that.
6 20-minute mark?
6 Rabbitohs, 4 Storm. So,
well, the Storm have got to come back, don't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
3 games in, hello.
Come on. That beer looks good, Glenn. Kevin Jonesy.
Yes, no worries, Kevin. It is good, mate.
Biggest loss ever. Yes, there was, Rob. The beers are beautiful, Kevin.
Yeah, it is good, mate. It's on tap.
Nice.
We do that at the Frothy Bar.
Cheers. Yes. Hey, look, all right, we're about to get into the trivia. I've got some more. I've got some more sports to do. Well, let's quickly just have a quick one of this. Nick Kyrgios. Our favourite tennis player here on the Froth.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we absolutely love him.
I haven't seen the Don on tonight.
The Don hasn't been on. He'll come on.
Our favourite tennis player has come out today and said, you know how he beats Nadal? He gets drunk the night before. He plays...
Really?
Is that what he said?
Oh,
he's curious. Yeah, he plays with a hangover, and that's how he's beat him now 3 times.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh.
could be.
All right. One more. Cricket.
One more cricket.
Cricket. James Faulkner.
Gone. They've not given him a. They ripped her up, have they?
Well, he doesn't know.
Did you
Parts.
say
Part,
Faulkner? You
Well,
said
no,
James
he
Faulkner.
didn't get a contract.
Parts
So
of-
he didn't get a
James Faulkner?
contract
No,
for
parts of
Tassie
England.
for the Tassie Tigers.
Gonna be
and
very-
who was the other? There was another guy there who I thought was a pretty good player too. He didn't get a gig either.
No,
So,
no.
but he's been a
He's the finisher. James Faulkner.
well,
the
yeah,
finisher.
or the punisher.
If he wants to get back into Australian cricket, he needs to get picked up by another state now.
Well, we've brought down Siddle.
Yes.
Peter Siddle.
Yes.
So, these guys have played together, and look, James Faulkner has been a star, and we're not writing James Faulkner off by any means, but he's had a few injuries, hasn't he, Jeff?
Yeah.
So, Pete, get back, mate. You're a star.
There you go, James. What?
Actually, guys,
WTF? No
finisher.
contract.
No
Exactly.
contract,
Yeah.
so no contract. But
Hey, Giggy, how you go, mate?
we don't write off champions, James.
Sorry,
and you
producer's
are the,
asking us a question.
I'm just
Sorry.
saying, like, you're speaking of injuries.
Yeah.
I saw a really bad one today.
Oh, no, it's not a bowler.
Oh.
It was
It's
this
a-
bowler.
it's
Look
a-
at him go.
Is
Look
this
at
Glenn
his-
Cleaver?
Look at this injury.
Is this how I bowl?
It's the
He's
bowler.
hurting himself bad.
Oh, God.
There we go. Look. Oh, no!
There he is.
He's-
Boom! He's landed on his balls.
Oh!
Oh, Pete Siddle. What a workhorse he is, mate.
Yeah,
And
he
he
is.
will be tremendous for... where are you from, James? He will be tremendous for the young kids as well.
The teachings that he's going to...
Yeah.
Look, actually, the good thing is he's best mates with Ricky Ponty. Of
course, he's North Melbourne, mate.
Because North Melbourne, you're North Melbourne. Stop it. Stop it.
North Melbourne.
Stop
Ballarat.
touching
Yeah, get your
toys,
hand off
but-
I bet it's cold out there, James. Ballarat.
Ballarat,
Oh,
is
Bev
it?
had it bad.
Should be cold.
Up in Ballarat.
All right.
Well, it's like that down here, James.
Let's get this trivia going, guys, for this evening.
Yeah. So we just we've spoken about the last one winners, didn't we?
Greg Kelly
from
won the first
Queensland.
round. Yeah.
And
Price is on the way.
Prize is on its way.
Yeah.
When he landed on...
I ran down today, James, and
Oh, not his face.
my wife paid for it. I ran down and got it today.
Oh,
don't
turn
feel
it
bad.
up. Come on. Come
All
on.
right, are we going to the pub quiz promo?
Hit it.
For a
No,
promo?
Hit it.
we're on.
The promedy. Here we go. Yeah.
All right, guys. As I said before, if you're new to the show, this is the second round of quiz. We're going to do 10 rounds, and then someone will win a prize. As I
Another
said,
one.
could be a Mercedes Benz, could be a bloody,
could be.
could be a box of
Geez, you're
Smarties.
talking it up,
Who knows? But tonight we have
Smarties.
a wheel on the
Off
froth.
the wheel.
A what?
A wheel.
I'm on
A
the
what?
wheel.
A wheel.
A what?
A wool. A wool. Tasmanian language, a wool. And anyway, how it works, guys, we're going to ask 10 questions, and Glennie will start off, and you get 1 point per correct question, answer.
I get that.
The first, and now, if you're new, internet is different all over Australia. Some people will see that it comes up on their phone that you're first. Other people will go, no. Whatever comes up on our phone in front of us, we have to take as the first one in.
That's right.
It's different in suburbs.
It is different all over the place. So, all right.
We do our
Depends on when
best.
you got 5G or not.
Yeah.
Well, there you
We
go.
do our best.
There we go.
So,
All right, Glennie, you're away, mate. Question number 1, let's do it.
Here we go. This is Corey's quiz now, our sponsor. But question 1, viewers, what is the black ball worth on a snooker table?
Oh,
What
snooker
is
players
the
out there?
black ball worth on a snooker table?
The Bolt. Been a long time since we've seen the Bolt,
We haven't
isn't
seen
it?
the bolt on
Hey.
for a while, no.
The Bolt, if you're out there watching,
Yeah, get on, mate.
oh, look, he's into it straight away. Look at him
Yeah,
go.
he's
Greg
got it.
Kelly.
Yeah, well done, Greg.
Well done, mate.
Just give you a rap, Greg.
Well, we're gonna
Oh, because we'll
That's
we'll
pretty
just give you
funny.
some grog. It's coming your way.
might have to put a handicap on Greg, I think.
No, he's pretty good.
Yeah. Question number 2. Using the official scoring system, so the official scoring
Official.
system in squash, how many points do you need to win a game? So how many points do you need to win a game of squash?
Forget. I don't know.
How many points do you need to win a game of squash? No, it's not. No, it's not.
I thought it was
No, it's
21.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
no,
It's
hey.
not 21.
Alright.
That's table tennis if anyone's interested. But anyway, no, it's not 21.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Greg Kelly.
Oh, bloody
Right up there.
hell, he's gone early
he's going
too.
again. He's
And he was
James.
back in the
James
field.
come in at
James
10.
coming back in.
It was just bad luck, James. You were just one off there.
Greg, I'm not sending you another voucher. Full stop.
Janine's come in with 11. A little bit late there,
Too
but
late, Mick. No, it's Mick.
It's Mick. Mick's Janine.
that's what I just said, didn't it?
No, I don't know what you said.
Oh, I wouldn't know what
Anyway.
you said.
Thanks for joining us, Mick.
Yeah, sorry.
Beautiful to have you on.
Oh, Janine, of course
This
it
is you.
Yeah.
This is you. Your question. Number three. Question number
three.
three.
Question 3, viewers. Who is the current coach of New South Wales State of Origin team?
Oh, this is easy.
Who is the current coach? Right, that's now.
Is that a black currant?
Could be some sort of current.
Red currant.
That's racial.
Red, what's
Red
it?
current.
Red currant.
The current coach of New South Wales. State
Razor.
of Origin team.
Razor
got it.
with Fittler. Beat Greg Kelly too.
Oh,
yeah.
So A was Brad Fiddler since 2019.
Yeah.
Well done,
I thought it was-
Razor.
I thought it was
well done,
longer.
Raywin. Well done.
I thought it was
Oh,
longer
James
than that.
Came in.
No, since
He
yeah.
did. James was in father.
James come in with the
They're all in
whole
like
name.
a matter of seconds.
Oh, did he?
Juanita.
Brady Fitty.
Juanita's
I like
in
Brady
WA
Fitty.
and her internet's not that good over there. 'Cause
Well,
it's got to
everyone
come.
said that's good. I mean, that was a
That's
good
lovely.
couple of answers there.
I saw
So.
his interview the other day, and I was like,
Right, go.
No.
Question number
Okay.
4, guys.
Here we go.
This is a bit of a hard one, actually.
Yeah, it is real
"Is it
hard.
hard?"
Yeah, it is. It's
I
good
don't
because
know.
we don't normally do hard ones
No,
here on
okay.
Froth, but we're going to
Okay.
do an hard
Here
one.
we
right?
go.
So
There you go.
hopefully Greg Kelly won't get it. No, just
are old.
I'm just kidding. What sport would I be competing in if I was doing a daffy, a misty flip, a corkscrew, or a rodeo flip?
Ooh.
Ooh. What sport would I be competing in if I
Redneck
was
Olympics?
doing a daffy, a misty flip, a corkscrew, or a rodeo flip? What sport?
Redneck Olympics. Yeah, is that a Daffy Crip?
No, it's not crips. It's not diving. It's not cars. G'day, Nat. Didn't see you there.
Yeah.
How you going? Skateboarding,
on the
no.
Oh,
Radio, no.
Swing dancing.
Gymnastics, swing dancing, no. Diving, no. Bedroom gymnastics. Oh, wow, I like
sounds
the way
good,
your
though.
thoughts. Anyway, skydiving, no. No, let him keep
No,
going.
yeah,
Glenn.
keep
Let
going.
him
Keep
going.
going.
Drink.
Okay.
Where's
Surfing? No, it's
Surfing,
not. No.
Lawyer.
Skateboarding? No.
Glenn, where's he from? Glenn, in Melbourne. Where was he from?
Wangaratta.
Well,
Wangaratta,
sort
yeah.
of, sort of,
like
Razor,
Glenn.
sort of. No, it's not surfing. Snowboarding, sort of. I'm looking for the actual name.
Surfing.
No,
Surfing.
I can tell you now,
Surfing,
it is
surfing.
snow, but it's what is it? It is. I think Alicia Camplin, was that her name? She was snow skiing, snowboarding, skiing. Yes, it's something to do with that. Half pipe, no. Very close though.
Snow snort.
Well, can I give a little tip?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Go
But
for
now, viewers, stop just for a minute.
Aerial,
Close.
I'll probably take that.
There was a song, I don't know, it was called by Van Halen.
I'm going to take that.
And the song, one of their best songs was called what? Van Halen.
I'm gonna go with Brent.
You might as well
That's not helping.
jump.
jump.
It's freestyle ski jumping, guys,
That's it.
and I'm going to go aerial. I reckon
Okay,
that'll
I
do. I
think
told
I
you that was a
agree
tough
with-
one.
Oh, that was
Brent?
extremely
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well done.
Freestyle ski jumping.
Yeah,
was
no,
that
it was-
right? Elisa Camplin?
Yeah,
Let's
I
get
think
her
you're
in.
right.
Let's get her in the show.
We'll get her on next. Yeah, we will.
Why not?
We will.
All right, question number 5. Well done, guys. Sorry I made that one a bit tough.
Yeah.
You're not really.
No, I'm not at all.
Oh, look, I'm just going to say before question 5, just thinking about one of our mates, Glennie Smith, up there in Wangaratta. And, been through some, well, Wangaratta didn't cop the fires, did they? But anyway, look, I don't know if you're watching, Glenn. I'm going to give you a call, mate.
Yeah, get him on.
I'll talk to you very shortly, buddy. Anyhow, question 5. The Hunters and Collectors song, one of my favourites,
Oh.
The Holy Grail, was used by which sporting code?
Oh,
What sporting code? The great song by the Hunters and Collectors.
can you sing it?
Yeah, I can.
Go on.
Do it.
The whole... No, I can't.
No,
It's a little bit
no,
quick.
the Holy
The
Grail.
Holy
Oh, here we go.
Grail.
Nat.
Yeah, you got
it.
Natty, you're on the board, Nat.
Oh, I was just going to say.
We saw him, didn't we, down here? He came down here. We had him down here. So
Followed closely by Razor.
Now, Nat, if you can hear me, make sure you remind me after the trivia to talk about Flying July because we got a team going.
we've got our
I was a
team.
bit worried.
I know.
No,
So,
Flying June.
flying, no, it's
Yeah,
July.
Leah's flying in June, but it's actually in July.
I like Greg's
Rob,
curling.
you got to start getting with some AFL action, mate. He's Rob's very anti AFL.
Oh, I know. He's got to get, you know,
I was
mate.
asleep at the time.
What a day! Someone bring chills on grand final day. Yes, we have the best grand final days, don't we?
We do.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bonus point. No, it wasn't. You know, you earned it. You earned it. All right, question number 6. This is another tricky one. I've thrown in a couple of tricky ones tonight, guys. Here we go.
Okay.
And now there's more people watching. Motion in the ocean. Hello, welcome back.
Well done.
Motion's
Hey,
Motion.
we've missed you,
Good to have you
Motion.
back. We want you back and we want your feedback.
Yes.
And it's not about us two ugly-looking
good to have you back. Here we go.
You know, it's great to have you back, mate.
Question number 6. This is another tricky one, guys. I was sitting in my car this morning and I thought, oh, this will do.
Well, he's pretty tough.
You ready? Ice skating queen. Hello, Motion. Bill. Oh, Bill's in the ocean, isn't he?
Oh, Billy. Yeah, Billy Ocean. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ice skating queen Nancy Kerrigan was attacked in 1994 to try and stop her competing. Who was the other skater involved, which later was released as a movie?
She was a crazy person.
Well, it wasn't actually her, it was someone else, but it was all about her. So Nancy Kerrigan was attacked in 1994 to try and stop her competing.
There you go.
Who was it?
Greg, Harding, he's got it. Greg Kelly. Harding, do we take it?
Yeah, I suppose we'll take it. We're
We've
pretty
got
easy.
to. Tony.
Tonya
Harding.
Was it Tonya? It was Tonya.
Tonya
So was that right? Was he first?
Well, he did. He said Harding.
But James
8:35.
O'Dwyer said it actually had Tanya Harding.
Oh, well, there's a controversy.
Well, it is controversial, you know.
So
Where do we should go?
8:35.
All right.
James Dwyer.
Well,
But it's Tonya, not
Did
Tonya.
James get it?
No, Natalie did. Oh, no.
No, 8:35, 8:35.
Yeah, we're going to go James. James, you're on the board.
Yeah, James, well
Even
done.
though it's Tanya, it was fine.
Yep.
It's close.
Yeah, weird.
Oh, yeah, no, we're
Both
going
names.
with that. Harding. I mean, Tonya Harding.
Viewers' discretion. Could have been.
Tonya,
He's just hit the wrong button, that's all.
Yeah.
We're with you, James. Well done, mate. You're on the board. All right, question
Indeed,
number
well
7.
Question 7, we love this game.
Wasn't
And,
she on the castle? Yes, she was. Do you say castle or castle?
It's
Do I say
Castle.
Castle?
Castle.
Well, I can't talk properly, but I'd say Castle.
Well, you're proper, aren't you?
Yeah, proper idiot.
Castle. It's a castle.
Question 7.
Natalie, O and A are different ends of the keyboard. Oh, Nat, you're killing me. Oh, Greg wants a protest.
Hey, Greg, we've just sent out the whole truck there full of grog out to you, mate. You'll probably win again.
Be fair, Greg. Be fair.
How many players are in a curling team?
Oh, there you go. We had someone say curling
Oh, we
before.
love curling. I
We
love
do.
curling.
In actual fact, I'm wanting to put a team in the Olympics. So if there's anyone out there who wants to join us,
We-
a Friday Frothy team in the Olympics.
Well, as I've spoken to you before, Leah and myself, going back when we were younger, met the people that used to make the curling, you know,
Yes.
all the brooms and all that.
You don't know Benny P.
Benny Palmer's back in
Ben,
town.
Benny Presnell.
Oh, Benny Presnell? Is it?
Yes. Oh, he's just picked Geg Kelly.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
geez, we got it right this time,
Did
haven't
Benny
we?
P get 4?
Yeah.
Did he? Yes,
He
he
was
did.
first.
Well done.
Yeah.
No, he did. No, well done.
Well done. Everyone's 4, 4, 5, 3s,
Yeah.
2s, 3s, 2s. It's
Yeah,
definitely
no, it's
4.
good quizzing there.
What we saying? You don't know how to sweep a broom.
No, I don't, but the people that used to
No,
make it.
You're not on the team, Glenn.
We've never heard of it till we.
No, we'd never heard
You
of curling
can't sweep,
until.
not on the team.
About like
You got to be able to
26
sweep.
years ago.
Got to be able to sweep.
Yeah, sweet.
26 years ago, I reckon.
All right, question number 8. Is that me? That's me, isn't it?
That's you, mate.
Yes.
Got evens, Jeff.
That's what I do.
That's a good way to work.
Put it this
Thank
way,
you.
Jeff, it's all about me, this.
It is.
Yeah.
An albatross. The 4 and 5 button are close to each other. It was a typo. Oh, Razor. It's getting serious, isn't it? Hey, it's getting serious.
Typo.
Okay.
A bunch of alcoholics, they want the BWS voucher.
An albatross is how many under par? Oh, well, they're in for golf, Greg Kelly.
He
3
got it.
under.
Oh, he got it.
Bloody Greg.
Yeah, Greg Kelly's got it. Well done, Greg.
Rob, can you go up and cut his internet off?
Oh, dear.
Question number 9.
Okay.
Elliot will do that.
Okay, question 9. Madison, Red Line, and Mongoose are what?
What?
Madison, Red Line, and Mongoose are what?
That's what I grew up with.
It is a very tough question. This,
Cheers.
this is extremely hard.
Cheers.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, look at this thing. 9:30. Oh, look, 8:30. Oh,
Bloody
well,
hell.
no, and James, they're on the same time.
Oh, it's the first one up. It's
no.
Greg. It's
Yeah,
bloody
there's
Greg.
about 4 people on the same.
Is that? Yeah, Greg. Oh.
Jesus.
Are you feeling the love, Greg?
Come on, it's 4 up already. Come on.
Come on.
You're banned from answering this question, Greg. Question number 10. Is this a tough one? I don't know if it is. I remember it vividly.
I reckon that last one was tough, but
Obviously it's not, because everyone knew it.
well, they did.
Except for Mick, he said buses.
Well, what I will
What is
say,
that?
what I will say
Buses.
with your next question
Yes.
is, I met this guy,
Have you? Get him on the froth. Don't talk anyone.
but he doesn't look like he used to.
Of course he doesn't.
He's only half it. He's half it.
Hang on.
Size.
Hang
Who's
on.
that?
Here we go.
Mr.
Question
Lucan.
number 10, guys. What sport?
Dean Lucan.
What?
Oh,
Sorry.
Dean.
Oh, I thought you gave the answer away then.
No.
What sport was gold medal winner Dean Lucan competing in at the 1984 Summer Olympics?
Hang on.
Dean Lucan, what was he doing in the 1984? I'm glad you got that wrong, because I'm not going to give it to you anyway. Weightlifting, Razor.
Yes, Raywin Harvey.
Yeah.
Well done.
Who said wrestling?
No, I think Geg was
Ray-
throwing off. To be
Razor
honest.
got
He
that.
was just
Hey,
Well done,
throwing
Razor.
a point away there,
Actually,
wasn't he?
Well done, Greg.
I look.
Thanks for helping us out,
Going
mate.
back, I think it was about 84, Jeff.
it was.
I was at the Underground, I think it was, in Melbourne nightclub.
Lynn was in the
And
underground.
I was in the Underground. And
Like Mission Impossible.
I actually met Dean Lucan
Yes.
and a couple of my mates. Remember Satch? Like, we're all in there. And
That's another bike,
Satch gets up against this Dean Lucan. He says, "How you going, big fella?" Because he was a big fella, wasn't he? Oh, so he's passed now, one of my good mates. And he was a huge man. But, he's half the size now.
Yes,
he's
he's
only a little
lost a
weight.
lot of weight.
He used to eat all the tuna, mate, up there in South Australia.
That's
He did. He used to eat everything he used to eat. Everything he used to catch.
Juanita wants some general knowledge questions. All right, next week we'll have some general knowledge. Okay, you're welcome. Oh, hang on,
Yeah,
Nat.
actually-
We will in
actually, yeah.
we will in 2 seconds. I've just got to make room here.
Actually,
Really bad
Nat,
at that as well.
Because-
one of my yes.
because this is coming.
What are we doing? The wheel,
Nice
not the
one,
wheel,
mate.
Oh, hang on.
not the wheel.
This is coming into play
Yeah.
tonight. Ugh.
Hang on, nice head. Did someone just pour a beer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I did.
James noticed the head.
All right,
Oh, hang on. I got to
Can you
clear
see-
off the screen.
can we
Hang on
see
a
this?
second.
all right,
Alright.
guys. This is the new
wheel.
the new wheel.
The new wheel.
And it's weekly prizes giveaway time. Now, how this is going to work, guys? This is Corey's wheel, and how it works.
Great sponsor of the Frothy.
It's not the first person to come up with the correct answer, but we're going to take tonight. We're going to take the 5th person.
Oh, well, that's well done.
All right.
Nice work, Jeff.
So the 5th person who comes up gets to spin the wheel, which we're going to do that for them.
No, we
Do you want me
didn't.
to take tally?
But on the wheel, what we've got a $50 Coles Myer voucher that you can win tonight. We've got nothing. We've got a Frothy keyring and a $5 scratchy. We've got nothing. We've got a $20 BWS voucher. We've got nothing. Go the nothing, because we're paying for this. We've got a Frothy cooler. We've got nothing. We've got a $20 Dusk voucher. So for the ladies out there who like their scented candles.
Nice smell.
Oh, yes.
Is that a candle?
We got a Frothy shirt, or even a Corey's Garden landscaping shirt. And here's an interesting one. If it lands on this guy, you're our next guest interview. So if that comes up,
Could be Dolomite.
we're going to get you
could
on the
be
show and have an
Dolomite.
interview with
Oh,
you.
are we?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will.
I like it, I like it.
I
Yeah.
like it.
I like it.
So you get to come on the show and talk about, your sports and your career and what you've
Sounds
done, and if you haven't done anything, what you like. So
Yeah, I like that question, who am I? Because I always get that right.
because that's you. All right, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Question number 11.
It's number 5.
Ready?
Question number 11. Here we go.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take the 5th right answer for this, guys. Ready? How many men's BBL, that's Cricket Big Bash League teams, are there in total? How many BBL teams are there in total? That's men's and ladies. Rob loves candles. All right. How many teams?
Yeah.
All right, Brent's got 1.
He's
Rob's
a
got...
sniffer. He's a sniffer.
Rob, that's 2. James is 3. Rob, you've already
Robbie
said it.
Thompson.
4. Natalie Arnold is number 5. Natalie.
Nata's got it.
Nat's
Yeah.
got it. Nat.
Juanita was 6. James was 7. So Nat.
Oh, Nat.
For Nat
All right,
Arnold.
Here we go.
Here we
You get a
go.
spin.
Ready?
There you
Good
go,
luck,
Nat.
Nat.
Good luck, Nat. Here we go. Hope you get a shirt because that's worth the most.
Don't spin it off.
Oh! Zip.
Bugger.
You win nothing.
Well, it's not rigged.
But you had the chance to win something.
No, it's not rigged, Nat. Seriously, I didn't have that magnet holding that thing there. It's like Tetslotto.
Oh, she wants to go again. Oh, look. It's the first night. We're going to go again.
We're going again, Nat, because you've looked after us, Nat.
Yes.
You're a star.
Yes. It's
We
the
are gonna
first
do it.
night.
Would you,
Ready?
Oh, I'm losing it over
Ready?
here.
Away you go, Jeff.
Stop.
If it goes the same, it couldn't go the same again.
There we go. It's a frothy key ring and a $5 scratchy.
Nice
Alrighty.
work.
That's
Nice
it. How
work.
good's that?
Beautiful.
Prize. I always wanted that.
Done.
In life, I always wanted one of those frothy key rings and scratching.
Well done, Nat.
Matt, you will be a better person for that prize.
Yeah. Oh, she's happy. Look.
Look,
She's happy. She's happy. So I better write Nat.
The coaster comes with a beer now, too.
Nat, I'll get you to private message me your address so I can send that to you. Juanita, your stubby cooler, so I'm going to post at the same time. And
Actually,
and go, oh, she's crying.
all jokes,
Stitches.
actually,
I'm laughing.
all jokes
At the same
aside,
time.
as you can see, the frothy T-shirt, we'll be, if you're very lucky, you'll get a frothy T-shirt
Yes,
soon too,
I'll have
because
to-
we're going to
Got some
I'll
more
have to
present
contact
that.
Ali Barber and see if I can get the nose rings organised.
No, I'll fix that up.
Well, there you go, guys.
Nose ring, man.
Al, that was the Corey's Garden Landscaping Trivia Comp. I hope you enjoyed that, guys.
Alright, hang on. Am I going for the outro again? Am I?
Yeah, go for it.
Here we go.
Nat just said she's actually in tears and she's not kidding.
Al's
So
wiped a few and I've got one going
send it to
on
my
here.
place. I'll look after it for her. I don't think you will, Razor. I reckon you'll scratch that scratchy and you'll buy her another one if it wins. So I don't think so. What do you reckon? I don't know. All right. I've got one more thing to talk about before we go into Cleve's tips, and I know Razor and Rob are going to go crazy when I say that. But anyway,
They love Cleve's.
they
tips.
love
They
Cleve's.
do, yeah.
MMA fighter Tito Ortiz has
Ortiz, yes.
Ortiz. He's received phone calls from Mike Tyson's management, and it looks like this could be the fight for Mike Tyson. He's the MMA star is believed to be in competition with Evander Holyfield, as we know.
Yep.
But you've got a picture there of Ortiz. He's up. Look at him. He's pretty buff, old
pretty
Tizzy.
buff, isn't he?
Oh no, they're big units. These guys are. I know my son's right
Good body,
into
show him about the
the.
face.
Oh, thanks,
Right,
mate. That's
in-
what
well,
she says.
they've
She
got
says
those-
that to me every night.
They got those cauliflower
So's
ears.
Jacob.
She says that to
Oh
me every
yes,
night.
a good shout
Nice
out
body, show
to
about the face.
Jacob. And, actually, by the way, congratulations to
I've got no
Sophie,
words.
my daughter, for her birthday.
She was on tonight.
And Soph and her boyfriend Jacob.
I'm so
So
proud of you, mate.
congratulations too, mate, on your birthday.
Well done,
out there.
guys. Well, and happy birthday.
And anyone
Oh.
else has had a birthday.
Yeah, maybe me. My birthday
Hey,
on
it's
Monday.
Jeff's birthday
It's on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come in early, mate.
It's Jeff's
We're
birthday
we're
Monday.
celebrating now for your birthday.
Mm.
You old.
So anyone who's coming down to Hobart,
Anyway.
come and have a beer with me.
8th of
Yeah,
June,
alright.
Jeff's
Yeah.
birthday.
It is. I'll be turning a,
And
I don't
flying
know,
to July,
80,
we should mention
80,
that.
oh, flying
Oh.
to July.
Yes, flying to
Well,
July.
yeah,
so
we
yes.
always fly in July.
That's right, yeah. It's after.
Fly in July, don't we?
Guys, flying to July. Nat Arnold is the creator of this. Happy birthday. Thanks, Nat. Get on board.
Happy 70th.
The Frothy, oh yeah, you bastard. The Frothy team has got a team in on to fly into July.
Yep.
Come on, guys, bit of woo-hoo. Juanita, the Wheats, is that what you call it? Wheats, Juanita. She's on board. The Don and the Don's missus are on board. I haven't seen your name come up yet.
Yes. What?
On the fly in
I know,
July.
I thought it was...
Yeah, we are, but it's not July yet.
So get on, guys. No,
We're on.
Got to register.
Oh, you got to register, look.
Eh?
If you want to be part of a frothy team, let us know. We'll open up some more entries. All it is, guys, it's $31, $1 a day in July.
Yes, exactly. Not in June.
You
though.
count your steps. You log them in every Sunday. There's prizes available. And it's to get people out there and just lose a bit of weight, because
Well,
we've all
that's
put on
right.
weight. Look at us.
I'll speak to yourself. I look trim and fit. Viewers will know that. Anyway.
So, flying in July, get onto their website, have a look at it, log in. If you want to be part of a frothy team, we can start another team, I suppose. But
probably could.
shut up, you piss hands in the background. Too many bubbles. Yeah, you, Razor, you've got that right.
I
Absolutely
haven't even
right.
drank. I'm just laughing because it's just so funny.
There you go. Yeah, see? Oh, you see the registrations come through, Natalie, so she knows who's paid and come through. Wheats is my nickname. There you go. We'll continue to call you that. Wheats.
Well, Nat, if you're there, where is she? You know?
Couldn't run out of
We'll,
sight.
we'll come in, but I'll probably have to. I'm still doing my training leading up to the July because it's my birthday in July.
I see you've cut down your tips tonight.
Oh no, these are rippers.
I hope you guys have got an extra half hour.
These are absolute rippers.
Oh,
I'm
hang
telling
on.
you.
Did you want an intro?
This is Cleve's
yes,
tips.
Yes, Cleve's tips.
All right, hang on a second. I'm just going to get it set up because I'm too busy watching other things. Here we go.
Hello everybody, and today it's time for Cleve's Tips.
In the back.
Well, Rob, in the 50s, mate, we had cool cars, we had ice creams and hamburgers, mate. Oh, I used to watch that on Happy Days, but he just asked me to tell him about the 50s.
Oh yeah. What about the 50s?
Well, he reckons I'm that old. Here we go. Raywin said 3 cheers for tips being cut back. Play the intro. It's the best part. Oh, she's into you, mate. Hey, she's into you.
Now listen,
She's into you.
Raywin, you can't, if you're not backing Cleve's tips and you're not winning, like I was last week, well, obviously you're not doing your homework, mate. Just get rid of a little bit of that hard earned, and the only way you're going to be a millionaire is get on Cleve's tips.
James, you're new to the show. Just be careful with your tipping, mate.
Right, here we
He'll tell you to
go.
put your house on.
Look, I'm dead set, you guys. As Brownie, the great Campbell Brown, he got on the other week and he said, Cleve, this is off air, he said, your tips are sensational, mate. And he's bet fair, he's been, and whatnot.
Woo. That's crap.
Is that a lie?
Yeah, it's crap.
Oh, okay, might have been.
We'll spin the wheel on you in a minute.
No, let's get into it. Straight into it. Stop mucking around.
Mortgage your house.
Eagle Farm. So for you guys in Queensland having a crack at me, Raywin, it's up your way tomorrow. Eagle Farm and Greg and all them up there. So Eagle Farm, Randwick, Flemington last. So it's all about Randwick. It's about Brisbane, Vegas.
Hello.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh, okay. It's a good 4, apparently, you guys up there. A good 4 up there at the farm tomorrow. 11:10.
That's a curling team.
So run in, Raywin. Run in and go straight in and just get your money on race 1. Horse 2. Advance warning. I'm telling you. I've given you advance, and that is the warning. $3.90 fixed.
Now, yeah.
Gamble responsibly. Yeah, we try and do that.
Don't put me in the same basket as Greg.
Race 2, 11:40. So when you've won that tip, you'll just go straight on to the next tip, which is race 2. 11:45, race 1, and you can chase that other one because it's called Red Chase. So Red Chase, I just stick him on fixed, $3. I reckon that's all right. He'll go out. 1:35, race 3, horse 5, plenty. That's what you'll win. Plenty of.
That's how many tips you've got. Plenty.
Yeah, plenty. 11:30 and 9. So 11:30. When I say 11:30 and 9, viewers, 11:30 is tote, 9 fixed, but that will come in. Race 6, horse 11. Maricapo. Huh?
American Hoe.
Maricapova. No, who cares?
Sharapova.
Who gives a stuff what it is? It's horse 11. horse 11.
Sharapova.
750 and 12, and he's coming back. The great Jimmy Byrne up there, great.
Oh,
rider
I
up
missed
there.
Jimmy so much.
So Jim's coming back. He actually had, all jokes aside, viewers, he was pretty bung up there for the last couple of months with a bad injury. He's back.
Welcome back, Jimmy. Good to see you.
And he is a good rider, and he will. I don't know how that one will go, but he'll go all right. Race 7, this is Cleve's tip of the day. Horse 1, Rothfire. So remember, I said Cleve's tips, Rothfire. 530 and 390.
Oh, get on it, guys. Bet your house on it.
Race 8, another good tip. Horse 16. This horse is flying at the moment. Don't know if it can do it again, but look.
It's Pegasus.
It's a flying horse.
At 970 and 480, Dawn Passage. But if you don't like Dawn Passage and you want a real little bit of money on it, Hightail, 22, 20 and 12. And, have a look at Trekking as well in the same race.
Trekking was in the Melbourne Cup ages ago,
It
wasn't it?
was. And so you make up your mind. If you don't like Cleve's tips there, you can go 1, 2, 3, or you could go horse 16, 17, and 18, or whatever, where Trekking's actually number 1. But you could put it as a trifecta.
It's already won.
Yeah, it's one.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Trekking's a good horse.
Yeah, it is a great horse. So if you like Trekking,
Even me, a novice horse racer that I am, I know that.
Down at Randwick, and we just spoke to the great man,
1,
didn't
2,
we?
3.
We just spoke to the great man. He's at in Sydney.
How good was he?
It's a heavy 8. It's
How
a
good
heavy
was-
8 tomorrow.
Well, just for a second, how good was Lenny?
Lenny is look. We have a lot of fun on our show, but we are serious when we talk about how good that guy is, and sensational given his time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Randwick race 8, fine. So it is fine, but it is heavy. So race 1, here we go again.
Yahtzee.
No, is it?
Well, I know.
Yangtze Rapids.
Oh, we played
Yangtze is
we-
up the
Yangtze-
Yangtze River in China.
Yeah,
we played
Yangtze.
Yahtzee in our bathtub a couple of
do.
weeks
Oh,
ago.
did you?
Yes.
Oh, you do a lot in the bathtub.
Check out Iceland.
Race
and
1.
Pub Crawl.
Jeff, we're going to
Can
Right.
tourists.
7 to 1 or something.
So it's not going. I hope this show's not going too long. Race 1, horse 3, Yangtze Rapids. I can't say it. 750 fixed. Race 4, horse 6, Elaborate. That's what I try and do a lot. 15, 70 and 12. Race 5, horse 5, Burning Crown at 4. That's a good horse. That'll do well. I do like 310. Race 7, horse 13, Adelong. 20, geez, that won't be that. 26, 70 and 650. Race 8, horse 7, I reckon it's got the great Huey Bowman on it.
Oh, you
Toss.
love Huey.
Oh, well, I do like
You love
Bowman.
Huey.
If you like Bowman, and you will just put your house on that.
We should get him on.
480 and 290. I will get him on. He loves Cleve's tips. Race 9, horse 1, Opacity, 550 and 330. If you want to go down to Flemington, 11:35 tomorrow, you'll get Oliver there. Race 1, horse 1, Prezado, 240 fixed. 12:45, horse 5, race 3, Cooleth.
Who?
Cooleth, that's what I have to do. Cooleth a bit.
Cool.
260 and race 4.
Oh, hang on. Take this on board.
Race 4, 125.
Yes.
Horse 16.
Yes.
I could do better. Whack. Actually, just put the Empire State Building on that. $12 fixed. Look, if you really like some odds, 325 race 7 horse 1.
Oh, he's back.
Savaheat at 14 fixed. Geez, well done. That's a real big Cleve's tips. You'll be rich by now. Now you really have sold the farm. At 4 o'clock, your last tip down at Flemington, race 8. We love this horse. I like this horse. Iconclasm, 1180 and 5.
Yeah.
That is Cleve's tips.
Yes.
I can't help you anymore, you guys. You just pick through that and you'll get some winners.
That's Cleve's
well
tips.
done.
Late at night.
And today, it's time for Cleve's Tips.
Yes, it's too long, Glenn.
Late at night when the lights are low, you've had a couple of champagnes and some strawberries. Iconclasm. Beautiful work.
It sounds like something out of Ghostbusters.
It does.
Not that they actually put into their...
Yes.
No, look. Again, as I said, look. Thanks. I like it. See how we get people in with the horse race. See, a lot of them don't like horse racing,
No,
so it's good.
no,
to,
I don't think any of them do.
These
to be honest with
the younger people,
Induct
they may like it.
Sorry, I said 100.
Good fun.
I wouldn't, Brent. I
fun.
wouldn't take it unless it was 160 to 1, mate. North Melbourne winning the flag, but anyway.
It needs a darker pen.
Yes. Guys, that's it for the show tonight. I hope you've had a great time. We've had a ball tonight, haven't we?
Oh, we have. Yeah, we always have a ball, and thanks to all the participants in the pub quiz.
Oh,
That was
beautiful
good
work.
fun.
Sorry I missed all that, Glenn. Can you repeat? No, don't! He will!
No, we're only joking. We won't go through it again.
Thanks, Juanita. Guys, thanks for joining in. Thanks for making the show. We absolutely love you guys coming on and talking to us and having fun, don't we?
We do,
It's made our show, and we've evolved into something, I think, a lot more fun than we ever thought it was going to be. So
Yeah, look, hopefully, as I said, with the sort of people that we've had on, hopefully we can do sportsmen's nights
Yes, we will.
and things like that
We
with
will.
some of
They're
those guys.
coming.
But we do appreciate their time and we appreciate what you've done.
Hello to all our new people tonight.
hello to all the new people. James,
Absolutely.
James will be back next week.
James, thanks
Yeah.
for joining us, mate. I hope you've enjoyed it, and this is pretty much what we do every week. We get some really good guests on, and then we have an ack-lack around. Ack-lack, you said that too.
Oh, Acalac.
Oh, the guys in
The
Oklahoma.
people, yeah, Acalac, they like the way I talk.
They laughed at that. Ack-lack.
Acalac, yeah, Acalac around.
Good night, guys. Have a great weekend. It's a long weekend down here in most of Australia, except for Queensland and Western Australia. For everyone having a long weekend, enjoy yourself. Have plenty of froth.
Enjoy the froth.
And stay warm.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Stay warm.
Good night, everyone. Thanks to the
night.
producer. Thanks for our hair and
Yeah,
makeup. She
yeah.
doesn't do anything with the hair and makeup anyway. But anyway,
Yeah, you look like shit still. Alright.
have a great weekend. Goodbye, guys.
Okay.
You're listening to the
I'll
Friday
do
Frothy.
that.
What a fantastic show.